My name is Janice Lee, and I'm the General Manager for Caribbean Flavors and Fragrances. Caribbean Flavors and Fragrances is a company that is listed on the Jamaica Junior Stock Market. We do flavors for the industry, beverage. Think of any company that's in Jamaica that sell beverage. Our flavors are in those beverages. We also do ice cream and baked products. We also do fragrances to the industry. We also not only provide to the local market, but we also do some amount of export within the region and in Canada. And in fact, during this time of COVID, we actually jumped at an opportunity that presented itself very early, and we started manufacturing hand sanitizer, which is, I would like to think that ours is one of the best, if not the best, on the market. Caribbean Flavors and Fragrances have been certified safe quality food since 2019, and we had our recertification early this year, and we did very well again. We passed with flying colors. So certification has done a number of things for us. The first thing is that our staff are more aware of best practice and maintaining best practice. So they now are much more sensitive to our manufacturing facility in terms of our processes, ensuring that things are done the right way at all times. And that's a big thing for us. We also, our certification also indicates to our customers that we're very serious about quality and standards. So that's one thing. The other thing is the certification has also made the company more marketable internationally. Most international, if not all international companies require that their partners are certified in some way or other, because standard is very important. So this has actually propelled us into the international market in a bigger way. Also, the companies that we work with locally that are international company, they require it. So once we got our certification, they were very happy that we did this. So our journey began in 2018, and to be honest, it was a bit challenging in the beginning, because the first thing we had to do was train our staff to rethink, how they do things. So the training is a big part of the certification. We had training almost every day with some member of staff or other. So training was a big part, and still is a big part, because to maintain our certificate, we have to do ongoing training. The other area was in documentation. We realized that we were doing a lot of things, but they were not documented. So the documentation process was also very lengthy. We spent many nights here, the managers, just ensuring that we had things up to date. And documentation for SQF is as simple as if a member of staff changed their telephone number, we had to update the file and reissue the master file. The third area is in the physical facilities. We had to do some upgrading because the certification requirement is very specific to what the plant should look like, what should obtain and what shouldn't. So for instance, like the flooring, there should be no pitting, it must be smooth. So we spent quite a bit of money just upgrading the facilities. So we cannot express in words the value that QSSI has brought to us in terms of preparing us for our certification. They became our counselor, and one of the nice thing about working with QSSI is that there was no off limit in terms of, we can only call them between X time and X time during the day. Because we were working late, we were able to call them and ask advice about certain things. So they have helped us to really make the process that much easier. However, there are times that we felt that they were whipping us too hard into shape, but when we had our certification audit, it proved very well that, you know, we were well prepared. The first measurable thing that I can think of is in the regulatory bodies that we work with locally. Safe Quality Food certification has allowed us to have no delays when we have our inspections from the local bodies, because we actually have things running much smoother. So, for instance, if the Bureau of Standards or the Public Health, the Ministry of Public Health come to audit us, we have less non-conformance, you know, so our certification process is much smoother. We are able to get our re-registration in a much faster time. Another area is in the just the sensitivity of the staff in terms of non-conformance. Again, in the past, you would find that finished goods would be sent over to the warehouse without labels. We don't have that anymore, so we have less customer complaints in terms of, you know, incorrect labeling. So that one was easy to measure. The other measurable is just the interest that international companies have had in Caribbean flavor since we have this certificate. At present, we are working with 2 international companies. International companies are always interested in Jamaican products. So at present, we are working with 2 companies who have asked us to develop two products for them. So that is measurable, because even though we may not at the moment have a dollar value to put to it, we can see the process has moved quite a bit. So it's just a matter of now getting approval and moving on with that. I would advise them strongly to do so, because as I said, it opens the eyes of your staff. It opens the eyes of your customers, knowing that, you know, you're doing all of this just to improve the quality of products that you give to them, that it's safe, that it's done in an environment that they can rely on. The process itself sometimes may become a little challenging in terms of, because, you know, sometimes it's hard to change how people think, and one of the first things you want to do is change how your staff think about the things that they do. So changing our thoughts, retraining how the mind think to do things. So the advice I would give to anyone who is considering it: don't be alarmed and don't be afraid that, okay, you may have to invest some money in upgrading your factory or your plant. You're going to have to spend some money in training your staff, but at the end of the day, it's a big thing for you. It's a big thing if you want to export. It's a must if you want to export. It's also very important if you want to partner with local companies that are, you know, they may operate locally, but they're international. So I would encourage any company that wants to get the certification to go ahead and do it. It's worth it. The training programs that QSSI offer, they are quite detailed. They are very good, and they are not just you know, sitting down in maybe an environment of training and listening to somebody talk, but they're very practical. We find that the training that our staff got from QSSI, most of our staff have taken it home. You know, so it is basically the training it's changing behavior pattern. It's carrying it over into not just your workplace, but also at home, you know. So the trainings, the lecturers or the presenters are well qualified. They're very interactive, you know, and we in fact, just recently we had a training, a training on all-day training, which most times staff don't want to do all-day training. But at the end of the training, the staff didn't want to leave because they had such fun, you know. It was outside of the company, and there was a camaraderie, and the presenter made it fun for them. So I would endorse anyone who wants to go with QSSI for training.